quote Corey King, who knows how long that was up there for, okay? Hey y'all, what is up? It is your friend Jared Javante, the Hollywood hero. Now, I'm so sorry. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video, but y'all know life be lifing, but life does indeed go on, okay? Can I get an amen? Yeah! And speaking of can I get an amen, I'm back to talk about one of my favorite shows in all of existence, RuPaul's Drag Race. Season 17, we have a new season, a new batch of queens, and a new batch of things to get into. Please make sure to, do all the YouTube things like, comment, subscribe, get that on out the way so I ain't got to bring it up again later, but I will. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Now with this season of Drag Race, I really want to go week by week and just give my thoughts, opinions on, the challenge, the runway, whether, these looks fit the brief, and just my overall assessment and my overall thoughts on, the girls and what they're bringing to the table. I'm going to have the looks here on my handy dandy iPad just so I can give, a real-time assessment of my thoughts and my critiques. But I'm also going to have it, displayed here for the audience to see. And without further ado, we're going to go in alphabetical order, starting with Acacia for guys. Now, when it comes to Acacia, specifically for episode 1 in her talent show, I really feel like the girls really pulled their pants down and just took a mean old number 2 on her. Aww. Because her talent in itself was an actual talent that you can, display and quantify and qualify. But it also was a decent song in my opinion. They said there, were things about the audio and there were technical difficulties. However, to my ears, it sounded all right. It sounded like a little country bop, that you would probably hear on one of these old radio stations around here in Texas. But as for the runway, I wasn't really living for it on either week. Week 2 with this Is It Cake look, I understand, or maybe I don't. The hairy ass and, having your cheeks still, not quite shaven. It may be a part of your drag, or maybe a part of the aesthetic that you're trying to give, but it just, personally for me, it wasn't my thing. It wasn't my thing. And the makeup brush, to quote Corey King, who knows how long that was up there for, okay? All right, next up we have Miss Arietti. Week 1 and week 2, both stunning and gorgeous looks, I feel. However, when it comes to the Is It Cake runway, I feel like it didn't quite fit the briefing. I feel like she had something in her suitcase or she had something in her closet and was like, you know what, I'm just gonna show my butt in it. And that's fine, because, it was a cute garment, but, it didn't quite fit the brief for me. And as far as her talent goes, great gowns, great gowns. If I'm a little short with these, please pardon me. It is 14 girls and only so much space on the memory card, okay? Next up, we have Miss Crystal Envy. Now, her week 1 masked singer look, I feel like it fit the brief. Was it particularly pleasant to look at? Not personally for me, no. And when it comes to her Is It Cake runway, love the idea, not so much the execution. Her talent show, I thought it was, it was neat, it was fun, it was cute. But, she's very pretty. That's what I'll say. That is a glowing review that I can give of her. She's very pretty. All right. Next up, we have Miss Hormona Lisa. She does have a very sweet and endearing spirit. I'll say that about her. And her personality seems to, be motherly. I'll say that. But on the runway and for the talent show, it just ain't my cup of tea. Somebody drinking it just now. Next up, we have Miss Jules sparkles. Okay, that's what she gives me, very much that. Her Masked Singer look, I thought it was very, very beautiful. Great gowns, and I don't mean that in a shady way. I feel like it fit the brief completely, and it also delivered on the aesthetic side. You know, it was most pleasing to look at for me. When it comes to her Is It Cake runway, is it cake? It's okay. It's okay. It's cute. I like her makeup. She has a really fierce brush that she she beats, baby. She beats with it. Her talent show wasn't anything extraordinary, but it was cool. And the lip sync, I'll say that as well. Nothing extraordinary, but it was cool. She might have did a little too much, you know, starting off, but hey, you know. The nerves, being on RuPaul's Drag Race, I can only imagine you would want to hit 3 backflips and 5 splits in the first 2 seconds if you could as well. Next up we have Miss J.O.E. Don't forget the Ella, okay? Quite frankly, I'm afraid of what will happen if I do. Anybody else? Okay. Joella, you know, I think Joella has a great understanding of her proportions in her body. And that is something positive that I can say about her. The talent show, no ma'am. The wig on the Is It Cake runway. Next up, we have Miss Corky. I don't know why I just said her name like that. It just, I don't know, it rolled off the tongue. But we're going to go with it. As for the runway, on episode 1, fabulous. I love the Diana Ross effect that is given. I also love the very dark lady aesthetic of it all. I don't know what's going on. Okay. As for her runway the first week, this is fabulous. I love the Diana Ross of it all. I love the dark lady of it all. I wish she wouldn't have done that reveal so fast. I wish a lot of these girls would not have done their mask reveals at the top of the doggone stage. But that's the only critique I have for week 1. Week 2, this Is It Cake look is a very particular and niche reference that, quite honestly, the philosophers of ancient Egypt would not get unless they knew Monet Exchange inside and out. If somebody didn't know that, taking away the context is, yeah, it ain't given for me like that. Her talent show, it was cute, it was cool, but it was a good lip sync. But where were we? We are at Miss Lana Geray. Week 1, cute catsuit, no pun intended. Week 2, her Is It Cake look, very beautiful, very beautiful. I do want to see a little more body on the girls from time to time, but for this runway, it is cute. And that's not just for Lana. I love you, baby. You're good. Me and you are good. As for her talent show, kinda, I don't want to say disappointed. It wasn't the best thing for me personally. I think it was a little low energy. Some of the moves that she was making were really cool, but overall, outside of those 2 or 3 stunts, it's alright. It's okay. Next up, we have Miss Lexi Love. For her week 1 look, this MTV Moon Person, Moon Man reference, it's really cool. I like the hair underneath. It's a little simple, but you know, effective. As for week 2, with her Is It Cake look, it's a very, very, very good look. Beautiful gowns, great gowns. Not necessarily gowns, but y'all get the gist. However, I don't know if it necessarily fits the cake brief. I don't know what information that the girls got. Maybe it was something to do with butt, but like a lot of these are now reading cake to me. And maybe it's not their fault, but you know, it's a good look nonetheless. As for her talent show, the roller skating is something that I can't recall outside of, you know, the actual like roller skating runway has been done on Drag Race. It's something different. The 5 splits in a row was really cool. Lexi Love, you know, I got my eye on her. She is a good talking head as well. Lexi, I like Lexi. Next up, we have Miss Lucky Stars for her Masked Singer look. I don't necessarily know if the pizza box counted as a mask, but I think this is really cool. I think she has a very unique perspective when it comes to drag. You can honestly tell that she's the child of Nina Bonina Brown. It's honestly, if Nina took the substance, I feel like she would be lucky. You know what I'm saying? Her Is It Cake look, I know a lot of people made the critique that it looked very homemade, but the kind of crude quality to Lucky's work, I really like it. I don't know what it is about it. It's very grunge in a way that it doesn't, kind of conform to these conventional standards of what you think drag should look like or what you think beauty should look like. I'm interested to see what else Lucky has to bring to the table. Next up, we have Miss Lydia B. Collins, and she do be calling, okay? Nobody else laughed at that. Okay, it's fine. So when it comes to her first look for the Masked Singer runway, the idea, I can see there were a lot of ingredients in the pot. Did they necessarily mesh well and have the flavor profiles to necessarily complement each other? Can't say they did. But she was cooking with something. The grease kind of got out of hand. There's something there. There's something there. But it ain't for me at this point in time. Now, when it comes to her Is It Cake runway, it's much more polished. It's much more, como se dice, I can tell what I'm looking at. I like it. It's cute. A little simple, but cute. When it comes to her talent show, again, I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm kind of scared, but I'm also intrigued. So, Lydia B. Collin, I hope she called back on the competition. Because, I'm very interested to see what there is there. Alright, y'all. Next up, she is not on mine, but she's definitely on yours, okay? It's on your nerve. How me is your MC, girl? You know I just ate that up. Miss Anya. I really like Anya. For her runway on the first episode, same with Lydia, there's a lot of ingredients in the pot. Did they necessarily mesh to create like a good, succinct flavor profile? I don't know. But she very much sold it, and that is one thing that I can appreciate about it. She sold the garment, whatever it was. As for week 2, I like the top half. I really think the rhinestone encrusted type of brassiere type of deal that's going on, very cute, very demure. But the bottom half, and then as far as the briefing, again. Now when it comes to her talent show, I really think she was a little Robbington, okay? When it comes to interaction with the crowd, reception from the crowd, and honestly interaction with Ru, I think she could have been maybe not the top of the week, but definitely in the top 3 or 4. I really enjoyed Anya's energy. She got nerve. She got the charisma. There is talent there somewhere. But I really enjoy Anya. I'm interested to see what else she's going to bring this season. And I get that money in and out, okay? Next up, we have Miss Sam Star. She's another one that gives me very much that. You know what I'm saying? Her week 1 runway, it's very pretty. Does it fit the brief as far as Masked Singer? I don't know if this rain cloud hat counts as a mask, but I'm gonna let you slide because it's very pretty. As for her Is It Cake look, it gives cake and it also gives cake, okay? I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Sam is extremely polished to the point where I'm kind of scared, okay? And this is no shade at all, but she, Crystal Envy, and a little bit of Jewel Sparkles, they kind of give me, if you typed in, drag queen or RuPaul's Drag Race queen into ChatGPT or one of these little AI bots, it's what the AI would produce. And that's no shade at all, but it's just like they are kind of quintessential coded, if that makes sense. Her talent show, while it wasn't the best thing ever, I can appreciate the energy. She does have a very good talking head. She also has a lot of personality that I look forward to. And honestly, this is my type of gay. She's here, she's queer, and y'all gonna get used to it, baby. Okay. Last up, we have Miss Susie Toots. Now, Susan, my verdict is really still out on her. Like, everything is up in the air with me when it comes to Susan. She has a very, very specific and unique point of view when it comes to her drag. That 1920s kind of 30s aesthetic is very prominent in her drag. Is it my taste? I still can't say. The little tap dancing thing, I really just do not know how to feel about Susie. Her week 1 runway, her Masked Singer runway, not my favorite thing in the world. I do agree with Michelle. The makeup is but I haven't tried to put too much emphasis on that because I'm neither a makeup artist nor a drag queen at this current moment. But it's weird to look at. Like, not hard to look at. It's just weird to look at. As for her week 2 runway, I actually laughed. At first, I was really confused about this medieval times / Renaissance fair type dress that she had on and what she was doing with it. However, when she revealed to it being a donkey booty and like the little things coming out of the hair, while it's not, you know, the most opulent and most beautiful thing to look at, it certainly has humor, perspective, a point of view, and it's funny. It's funny. Alright, y'all, that's my final thoughts after the first 2 episodes. I would say my front runners would be Lexi Love, Jules Sparkles, Susie Toots, possibly. I do think there could be kind of like a plasma situation going on there where she does well at the beginning of the competition and then in the middle of the season is sent home in a surprise upset. However, I'm going to give my 4th spot, and this may be a little controversial, but I'm going to give it to Lana Jarrett. I have high expectations for her, which I hope if she sees this, that this does not add to any pressure that she has. I mean, the season is filmed already, but, you know, whatever pressures that, you know, still may be. Hopefully this does not add to such. I feel like the judges also want to see her do well. When they were talking about her talent show, they just kind of seemed more disappointed rather than, you know, she needs to go home. They know that she can bring a lot. I think that she's going to bring a lot. And I think she's going to be around in the competition for a minute. And possibly win the whole thing. So, those are my thoughts. I will be back with my episode 3 video very, very shortly, okay? Please hold out. Please hold tight. Join me here every week. Subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell a homegirl. Tell somebody you hate, okay? Just come on down. Peace out. Love y'all. Bye. The girls really pulled their pants down and just took a mean old number 2 on her.